What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Flow AI, where we build AI-powered automations and we help you leverage AI and automation to smooth out the rough edges of your digital workflow. And so today we're going to get into 7 essentials that we've been building for customers, things that are bread and butter of your business, kind of like the main operating engines, whether it be your email or your CRM or your marketing platforms. These are things that have a lot of repetitive tasks and that it sucks the life out of what those tasks are meant to be, right? Whether it be sharing a valuable piece of content or having a personal conversation with someone via email. There's a lot of fluff in between it, and that's kind of where AI and automation steps in to make your life a lot easier, right? So jumping right in, we're talking about the essentials, right? And not every business will have all 7. Some might have 3, some might have 2, some might have all 7. But the idea is that this is widely applicable across industries, right? Everyone uses their email. Everyone has customers or people that they need to be talking to. Everyone has platforms where their business operates. Jumping right into the first one, our meetings. I'm not sure if you guys have seen a lot of these softwares that came out. I think Firefly's AI is one, where it's basically like this note taker in your meeting. And it'll send you notes of that meeting after. So what can happen here is that you'll plug in a specific AI with a prompt to this note taker. If it sees anything like, let's schedule a follow-up for next week, let's say Wednesday, 2 p.m. That will be a flag for the AI. It reads the notes and it would automatically schedule something into your Google Calendar. Or it would say something like, let's change the status of this campaign to on pause, and so on and so forth. So you could connect the AI to a note taker and it would essentially look for the things that you told it to look for, right? And work autonomously like that. Another main one, and this could be a whole video by itself, I'll probably do one in the future, is email sorting, right? So AI is reading your inbox and it is categorizing, right? This is spam, this is junk, this is a return, this is an invoice, so on and so forth, right? You're the one that comes up with the categories, you give it those categories and it'll do its best to sort it. And there are obviously ways of like training it over time where it starts to get better and better at understanding what's happening in your inbox. But you can create this web, this trigger hub within your email, right? If something is sorted into a folder, that'll automatically go to the CRM and draft a reply. If something is flagged, then that would automatically be categorized in a CRM or in a project management task as high priority, right? And the next one is lead enrichment. We're moving pretty quickly, which is nice. So lead enrichment essentially scrapes the web for data on a schedule, which is basically like every Wednesday, I want you to look for any new news about this company, right? Or this industry. And then from that, you would be able to fill out a Google Sheet, right? With extra columns about a specific individual, right? Let's say it searches their company size, it searches his most recent post, it searches, her latest vacation, and from that you could continuously create more columns, right? It could be leverage this information about his most recent post and my offer and write me a draft that I can just send to him, right? And they look pretty nice after a while, right? So you have AI, it's connected to a Excel sheet, Google Sheet is what I use, that can automatically build this sort of persona of a customer, right? Like likely to buy, follow-up, potentially insights about them, drafted replies. That would in turn be plugged into your marketing, right? And then at the same time, that sheet, that information that you just enriched, will go into your CRM for storage. Yeah, tip of the iceberg, onboarding. Personalized onboarding emails automatically greet clients by name, share business details, guide them, take them through steps. Onboarding is typically like a lot of back and forth, right? Let me get this information from you. Could you fill this thing out? A lot of that can just be streamlined, right? And there are probably a lot of good platforms for this. But again, this automation, AI automation stuff is mostly about smoothing out these rough edges of like clunky processes that have been in place for so long that we don't need a whole new software. We really just need this email to automatically be doing this. Or we need, an automatic invoice to be sent to people that have reached this step, right? And a lot of that can be streamlined through onboarding, right? Right away, they can be added to a specific platform. Later on, you can get documents signed by them. Later on, you can have an invoice automatically, sent to them. A lot of the case, a lot of these like steps really should be automated. And I'm sure that people that do onboarding regularly, like coaches and realtors, probably they have a lot of this in place. Softwares that really streamline a lot of these things. But just keep in mind those unique things that you need to do yourself, right? Where you can just have AI read it, summarize it, and plug in data in a specific way and send them that email. Yeah, that's all I'll say about that. Document management, right? From storage to naming to sharing and disseminating, a lot of this can be streamlined. Again, AI is a natural language processing. So as the more words, the better. You just plug all of that into an AI's head, and you give it specific instructions of what it's supposed to do, and then you attach that in an automated function for it to flag anything that looks weird, for it to draft anything that needs to be drafted, for it to sort anything that needs to be sorted with a specific naming convention, to add it to a CRM, to creating support tickets, like documents, super easy to handle. And this is probably where the legal field starts to get challenged or starts to get enhanced. The choice is theirs, I think. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Next one is client check-ins. Obviously, you don't want AI to just be spamming your people, right? So I like to resort to just drafting messages and then having the person do the final send out. But if you're doing it for thousands, tens of thousands, I don't know who has tens of thousands of clients, but sending personalized messages is a lot easier, right? Especially people that need regular engagement, like a realtor that's sending a happy birthday. That seems pretty standard, but you can make it a lot more unique, right? For people that are living in this specific county, I want news to be scraped about that county and sending them a personal email, and this is the data from their house, right? This is where they live, and they have whatever, 2 kids and a dog, and yeah, so you get the point, right? You can do that to thousands easy, right? If you have thousands of people that you've worked with in the past or have submitted forms with you, you can send them those personal check-ins as long as you have that information that you can leverage about them. And this is an interesting one that we built an AI voice that was using a CRM's data. And it would essentially, when the number is queued, it would start to pull that information, and they would have everything, right? This is who it is. This is what his job is. He has a son. He's witty, and this is a recent activity, which was the trigger, right? Something went into a shopping cart. They didn't complete the purchase, so this AI was triggered to try to ask about that shopping cart, and it learns from the conversation. It starts to fuel itself of what's happening, right? He has disinterest. This is what it's supposed to do, right? You're supposed to end the conversation if this is what's the status of the conversation. And then there's the personalization of you're matching something about them, lighthearted, witty tone, right? Because that's who this guy is. Pretty interesting. Reporting. Automatically on a weekly basis, I get financial reports sent. And that's basically a Google sheet that is linked to where all of my financial data is, right? From Google ad spend to software use to this and that. It goes into a Google sheet, and then the Google sheet every week will gather all of those lines, and it would understand what's happening, right? Or what's the trend over the weeks, and it'll tell me, you're up this percent, or you're down this percent, you're spending a lot on this, or right. So that's the general idea, is that you take a bunch of sources and you combine them all together through sheets, through whatever, there are many ways that this can be built, but the general idea is the same. You're taking a bunch of information and you're condensing it, you're synthesizing it in a way for it to be, digestible, right? And actionable. And you could make it that, right? Like suggestions. You should increase your market spend because holiday season's coming up, and you want to be one of the first people that are showing up in ads, so on and so forth. Yep, and that's it. All right, not bad. I think there's a lot that can be happening. I mean, I'm going to take this video as a template for what I can talk about more, because there's a lot of depth here. But of course, the most interesting conversations are the ones that are happening with businesses. And so if you want to just, chop up a specific part of this or something that's on your mind about a workflow that can potentially be moving in a different way, feel free to shoot us a calendar invite. I'll leave the link in the description and we'll take it from there. Hope this was helpful. Take care, you guys.